It looks like the #1 stunner is in his feelings, because it turns out the heartbreaker himself might be the one getting played, at least according to Birdman. Word going around is that Birdman is finally revealing what really happened between him and Toni Braxton, and from his side, it sounds like Toni drained his bank account, vanished when the money slowed down, and now she's reportedly facing financial issues again. Not Toni Braxton on the verge of going broke? But this wouldn't be the first time money troubles followed her name. With 2 bankruptcies on record and a known love for high-end living, the timeline is starting to make sense. Now that Birdman is speaking out, he's painting their whole relationship in a new light. Some people close to Toni claim he's just bitter and trying to twist the story, but others are starting to wonder, did Toni really do him dirty? Let's look into the accusations, the money trail, and the aftermath, because this might be one of the most jaw-dropping relationship scandals in R&B history. Honestly, it's giving one big heartbreak anthem, because this whole situation is next-level messy. Reports say Toni Braxton tried to walk away from Birdman with a $160 million divorce settlement after being married for less than a month. A lot of folks thought the relationship had more time on it, but the details are wild. Allegedly, Toni left just 2 days after the wedding. Less than a month later, she filed for divorce, citing that the marriage was beyond saving. And here's where things went off the rails. Because if that payout figure is even close to accurate, this isn't just a routine split. We're talking high-stakes level boldness. And considering Toni's past financial issues, luxury tastes, and multiple bankruptcies, people are seriously starting to think this relationship might have been strategic. Now fans are wondering, did the woman behind Unbreak My Heart marry Birdman just for the money? And how did he not see it coming? The idea that Toni believed she deserved $160 million after only 2 days of marriage left everyone stunned. That's exactly why many are now siding with Birdman, labeling her a gold digger. I mean, how do you end a marriage that quickly and still feel entitled to that kind of money? Everyone knows Birdman and Toni officially called it quits in 2019, but things started to look shady when Birdman claims Toni began resurfacing in 2023, dropping flirty hints and making it clear she wanted to reconnect. According to him, she was persistent, showing up, reaching out, and eventually pulling him back in. One thing led to another, and after about a year of dating again, they tied the knot on August 8, 2024. But then just 2 days later, on August 10th, Toni filed for divorce. That's what she wrote in the court paperwork filed in September, officially stating they had separated after just 48 hours. Fans have been trying to make sense of what happened in those 2 days, but it already seems suspicious. And when news broke that she requested $160 million, the internet lost it. Even 50 Cent chimed in on Instagram, joking that some people would try to justify it based on past history. Birdman reportedly feels that Toni never had genuine feelings for him, only interest in his wealth. And when you look at the full picture, it's not hard to see why he might think that. His net worth is around $160 million, and Toni allegedly wants all of it. She didn't even make it a week into the marriage before filing. Sources say Birdman has been furious ever since, calling her out behind the scenes and accusing her of being after his money. And he's not holding back. He truly believes he was set up. Insiders are even backing him, saying Toni didn't stop at legal claims. She allegedly tried to liquidate some of his jewelry when she couldn't access his funds directly. As messy as all of this sounds, it's not entirely surprising. Toni's track record with finances has always raised eyebrows. She was a megastar in the 90s, bringing in huge earnings. But somehow, she lost it all, twice. In 1998, she filed for bankruptcy for the first time, which shocked fans who couldn't understand how a multi-platinum artist had gone broke. The headlines didn't let up in 1999 either, with more financial drama following. She even went on the Oprah Winfrey Show to explain herself, but that move backfired. Oprah questioned her spending habits and called out the irresponsible choices that landed her in debt. Rather than taking accountability, Toni got defensive on national television, accusing Oprah of being harsh and casting herself as the victim. She was
so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
Toni did manage to recover after her first bankruptcy, and for a while, it seemed like she was finally back on stable financial ground. But that stability didn't last. In 2010, she filed for bankruptcy again, and this time, it was even more severe. Reports stated that her debts were estimated to be between $10 million and $50 million. That wasn't just a financial setback, it was a serious crisis. Toni attributed the situation to the cancellation of her Las Vegas residency, which came after she was diagnosed with a major heart condition. But the problems didn't end there. She also faced issues with insurance coverage, unresolved disputes, and a growing pile of unpaid taxes. Since then, Toni has reportedly struggled behind the scenes to keep things together financially. The numbers tell the story. Her music hasn't been performing like it once did. Her most recent album barely sold 7,000 copies and peaked at number 163 on the Billboard 200. The one before that only reached around 16,000 in sales. For someone who once ruled the charts, those figures are a big concern. With album sales down, her main source of income shifted to her reality show, Braxton Family Values. But even that spotlight has dimmed in recent years. As the show's buzz faded and the chart hits stopped coming, it became clear that financial pressure was building. Fans started to question whether her renewed connection with Birdman was driven by love or by necessity. There had already been rumors swirling that Toni was close to facing bankruptcy once again. Then suddenly, after being separated from Birdman for over 4 years, she reappeared at his side. The timing raised a lot of eyebrows. To many, it seemed like she was more interested in Birdman's wealth than rekindling a genuine relationship. Let's be honest, for a moment it felt off. Their sudden reunion in 2023 confused everyone. Toni had spent years publicly saying that the relationship was over for good, even declaring that a reunion wasn't in the cards. So, when she made a complete U-turn and started getting close to him again, fans immediately sensed something strange was going on. Now, with Birdman speaking out and revealing more about what went down, people are starting to believe the whole relationship may have been a calculated move from the beginning. Even before all this recent drama unfolded, fans had picked up on the awkwardness between the two. One moment that really stood out was Toni's interview with Tamron Hall in 2022. She appeared on the show to discuss her lupus diagnosis, and the interview was supposed to be a heartfelt, emotional conversation. But the second Tamron brought up Birdman, everything shifted. Toni became visibly uncomfortable, avoided eye contact, and the entire energy in the room changed. It was obvious something was going on behind the scenes.
Anymore. And then you came back.
Yeah. I think it's when I was first diagnosed with having lupus, I was so down, I was so depressed. Then the doctors told me I would never be able to work again, your music career's over, but the man upstairs had a whole other plan for me.
Yeah.
But at the time,
This whole Toni and Birdman saga has always been hard to follow. They've been on and off since way back in 2016. And even during the times they were together, the relationship never really made sense to most people. Remember back in 2018 when Birdman proposed? He showed up with a massive $5 million yellow diamond ring. It was extravagant, attention-grabbing, and had everyone talking. It looked like a fairy tale moment, but then nothing. No wedding, no real updates, just speculation and strange energy. The entire engagement came off more like a headline than an actual relationship.
Okay, you're engaged.
I'm engaged.
He did good, right? Well, right? Very well. He did good. But there's no date.
The wedding kept getting delayed, postponed, and pushed further down the line. Toni kept blaming it on bad timing, but fans weren't convinced. Then came the biggest red flag of all. Toni reportedly lost the $5 million engagement ring. Yes, the same $5 million ring. She claimed she accidentally left it on a flight, and while the bag it was in was returned, the ring itself had mysteriously vanished, just gone. People were asking, how do you misplace a diamond ring of that size and value? Now, word on the street is that Toni may not have actually lost the ring. Allegedly, she pawned it to help cover some of her financial obligations. And honestly, considering her money troubles over the years, it wouldn't be all that surprising. Her history with finances hasn't exactly inspired confidence, and rumors were already circulating that she was in serious need of funds. So, she may have done what someone in that position might, sold the most valuable item she had at the time, the engagement ring. At first, Birdman didn't think anything of it. He genuinely believed the ring had been misplaced and even kept things cool during interviews, brushing it off like it wasn't a big deal. But if the rumors are true, that calm reaction likely didn't last long. Eventually, Birdman found out the truth, and that's reportedly when everything began to fall apart. The ring hadn't been lost after all, and once he discovered she may have sold it without telling him, the trust was broken.
Jewelry, that $5 million engagement rings from Birdman, honey, just gone, honey. So Toni Braxton is trying to get her engagement ring back. Now, one of the questions I want to know...
They tried to fix things, but the damage was already done. The engagement was called off, and not long after, the entire relationship fell apart. Now, years later, Toni seems to be caught up in the same financial drama, and this time, Birdman isn't going along with it. From the outside looking in, it seems like he's finally recognized the pattern and isn't willing to let history repeat itself. When you connect the dots, from the missing $5 million ring, to the back-to-back bankruptcies, to the shocking $160 million divorce demand after just 2 days of marriage, it all starts to look very suspicious. Birdman may have been blinded by love in the beginning, but now it's clear he's calling things exactly as he sees them, and he's not sugarcoating anything. If these recent rumors are true, it's not just that Toni fumbled the bag. She may have been chasing it all along. Now that everything is coming to light, the real question is, how deep does this really go? Is Birdman just hurt and trying to flip the script? Or is he finally exposing a side of Toni that's been hiding in plain sight all along?